An American Goswami and Goswami and family of Acharya are non-different. Because we cannot look at the material, we cannot look with material vision. Paragraph number 6. On the other hand, now Prabhupada is warning his own Goswamis. On the other hand, a devotee who has attained the title of Goswami but is not born of Brahman, father, or of the Goswami in the family of Nityananda or Advaita Prabhu, should not be artificially puffed up by thinking that he has become Goswami. Now Prabhupada is warning his own followers. First he warned the other people not to discriminate with a Krishna conscious devotee. Now he is warning his own devotee. He is saying he should always remember that as soon as he becomes materially puffed up, he immediately falls down. This Krishna conscious movement is a transcendental science. And there is no room for jealousy, enviousness, no room for jealousy. This movement is meant for Paramahansas who are completely free from all jealousy. Paramam nirmatsaranam satam. This is the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto, Mangalachan, second verse. Paramam nirmatsaranam, and then the word is satam. Bhagavatam 122. 112. One should not be jealous whether he is born in the family of Goswami or has the title of Goswami awarded to him. Jealous means finding fault. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramahansa. Paragraph number 7. If we consider the bodily defect of Vaishnava, we should understand that we are committing an offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava. This is another warning. An offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this offense as Hathi Mata, the mad elephant offense. A mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when it enters into nicely trimmed garden. So nicely trimmed garden is our Bhakti Lata Beach. In our heart, we have started creeper of devotional service. And offending the Vaishnava as a mad elephant, it will uproot the devotional creeper and it will destroy everything. One should therefore be very careful not to commit any offense against a Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instruction from a superior Vaishnava, and superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respect. Akhyati prayachati, goyam akhyati prayachati. Asking and inquiring and instructing. Now, on what basis there is somebody superior Vaishnava and somebody is inferior Vaishnava? This is the one is superior and inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. If he is Madhyam and the one who is asking question is Kanist, then Madhyam is superior, Kanishtik is inferior. If the speaker is Uttam Vaishnava and the person who inquires is Madhyam, then Madhyam is inferior and Uttam is superior. So according to his development of Krishna consciousness. And this development means three types of Vaishnava. Uttam, Madhyam and Kanishta. One is forbidden to observe the activities of the pure Vaishnava from a material point of view. For the neophyte especially, beginner, considering a pure devotee from a material point of view is very injurious to his devotional service. Injurious to his devotional service. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal feature and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So don't look at his body, but see his activity of the soul, how he is chanting, how he is doing deity worship, how he is reading scripture. So see his spiritual activity, don't see his material bodily defects. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from material point of view. Thus one can gradually become purified devotee himself. Very simple. If you find fault in others, those faults come in you. If you don't see fault in others, then you will be purified. Paragraph number 8. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to certain section of people, it means only Indian, only Brahman, or only sannyasis. No. A certain section of devotee or a certain tract of land are generally prone to see external feature of the devotee. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to certain section of people, if we think like that, then we are at the platform of bodily platform. External, we are seeing the external feature of a devotee. Such a neophyte, unable to appreciate the exalted service of an advanced devotee, try to bring the Mahabhagavat to his platform. This is Prabhupada speaking about himself. That many who are new devotees even, they were trying to bring Prabhupada to their level. How? By seeing, oh, he's served by the Western devotees. He's eating. I know even many sadhus in Vrindavan don't eat the prasad because they think it's cooked by non-Hindus. So this is Prabhupada is saying. We, now Prabhupada is saying, we means Prabhupada, experience such difficulty in propagating this Krishna consciousness all over the world. People are criticizing. What they are saying? Who are they? Fortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte God brothers. Prabhupada's God brothers, they were looking only externally, not appreciating the preaching activity, who do not appreciate the extraordinary activities of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. They simply try to bring us to their platform and they try to criticize us in every respect. We very much regret their naive activities and poor fund of knowledge. Now Prabhupada is saying, an empowered person who is actually engaged in the confidence and service of Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being. For it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Now Prabhupada is giving proof. Without the empowerment by Krishna, nobody can preach all over the world. So it means Prabhupada is empowered by Krishna. And if they want to criticize Prabhupada, who is empowered, then they don't know that they think Prabhupada is an ordinary person, and that is their mistake. Paragraph number 9, last paragraph, last warning. When one thus criticizes pure devotee, he commits an offense, Vaishnava aparadh. That is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of an empowered Vaishnava or Shuddha Vaishnava. To be envious means to criticize, to find fault. It is also an offense. What is the offense? To consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. Disciplinary action means you cannot come in our temple. It means you restrict him. You cannot come and give class in my temple. So you putting the structures or rules and regulation on a empowered Vaishnava is disciplinary action. It is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. By whom? This is here. One can distinguish between neophyte Vaishnava and advanced Vaishnava by their activities. The advanced Vaishnava is always situated in as a spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not be subjected to the advice of a disciple, nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instruction from those who are not his disciples. So disciple should not give an advice, and those who are not disciples should never dare to give advice. The devotee, he wanted to be initiated, but he told his guru, tomorrow is not a good day, it's better so and so date we can select for my initiation. So this is giving advice to the spiritual master. So one day is Muhurat is good, other Muhurat is not good. This happens sometime. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in the 6th verse. Our 6th verse is over. Hare Krishna. Now we can discuss something and then see what is next. Yes, what are your questions now?
I have a question that in our stage,
You have a question that in our stage,
we deal with devotees who have averse attitudes, who have attitude criticism, these are not as Vaishnava etiquette. So how do we deal with those devotees? Because sometimes we think it's offense to correct them or to tell them because they might get angry. So what should we do during that time?
the principle is a spiritual master has adhikar or a responsibility to correct his disciple. But if I find somebody doing mistake, but it's not my responsibility to correct him. He's not working under me. He's doing wrong. I see he's doing wrong. What I should do is, I should go to his authority and tell him honestly and sincerely that I have no any personal against so and so person. But what he was doing is not good for Prabhupada's movement, or for his own spiritual life. Now my work is over. I informed you. Now you deal with him. So your job is over. You should not correct yourself because he is not under you. If you try to correct it, it's not your responsibility. So who has the authority to correct, that we have to determine first. So we have to tell to the temple president if some devotee is doing wrong, not directly speaking to the devotee, no. Usually it is very difficult to avoid criticizing devotees. It's very difficult to avoid. Why? Because we have faults. So we can see fault in others. If we don't have fault, how can we see fault in others? Only those who have fault in themselves, they can see fault in others. So this is very simple thing. If you can see good things in others, then you will develop good qualities. If you see bad thing in others, then you will get bad qualities. Very simple. We don't have vision to see good things in others. This we have to learn. This is called guna grahi. Guna means good qualities. Grahi means accepting the good qualities of other people. If you have to find fault in yourself. If you have to find good qualities, see good quality in others. And we are doing just opposite. We are good in all respect and others are bad. That is our defect. If you have to see something wrong, see in yourself. If you want to see something good, see into others. So principle is live like a honey bee. Even you can associate with a bitter neem tree, but you can take sweet honey. There is sweetness in that too. Don't become a filthy fly. Only find out the dirty things and rotten things. So this is Prabhupada's advice. Be like a honey bee, don't become a fly. Always find good things in others and never look into the fault in others. Fault finding mentality or vision is not good. If we look from a different point of view, different vision, then we can see good things in everybody. So it depends upon the drishti. Drishti means vision. Once Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked to find out one bad person in the kingdom from morning to evening. And Duryodhana was also asked to find a good person in the kingdom. Same time. Both went in the morning. In the evening came back. Yudhishthira Maharaj said there is no bad person in the whole kingdom. And Duryodhana said there is no good person in the whole kingdom. Same kingdom. One don't find any bad person, one don't find any good person. What it means? The good can only see good in others. And the bad can only see bad in others. That is the problem. But father has to write, see defect or wrong things in his children and correct them. Husband and wife have to help one another to overcome the defects and shortcomings and faults. A spiritual master can correct his disciples. A authority can correct their dependents, but not everybody should try to correct everybody. Then nothing will happen. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
On this point of not judging someone based on material considerations, especially here in Vrindavan area, whenever we go outside on parikrama, there are many sadhus outside. So it is very easier for us to give respect to ISKCON devotees based on, say, their appearance, because we are clean, neat, and other things. But whereas when we go outside, the sadhus are maybe they are not very clean as much as the ISKCON devotees. So it becomes really difficult to access the internal part of their bhakti.
It's not your job. Just don't don't disrespect anybody. You may not give respect, no problem. Don't disrespect. So rule is that because we don't know who is a Vaishnava, therefore don't disrespect anybody. This is a rule. Bhagavatam. Because we don't know who is a Vaishnava, then disrespecting anybody, he may be Vaishnava. Therefore, better not to. Amanina manadina. Give respect to all. That is the best policy. ISKCON devotee, you can offer obeisance, you can exchange the loving exchanges, 6. But others, you don't disrespect them. Just honor them. If you have to honor, otherwise just walk. Don't find that he is the wrong person by he's sitting like that. It's not your job. Radhani has allowed him to be in Vrindavan. How can we say you get out? So now the next verse which we'll do next week. Yes?
As Prabhupada in his books condemned or criticized others, like Mayavadis and Dharmis and scientists, like
Not a person, not an individual. We should not be personal and individual, but philosophical we can say this is wrong and this is right. Not personal, individual. It should not be individual. We have to criticize the philosophy, but not the person. So this is a rule. Hate the sinner, not the sinner. Wrong things we can correct. We can point out wrong things, but not wrong persons. Wrong person is personal. Wrong thing is a principle. So in principle we can say this is wrong. But this person is wrong is not my authority. This thing is wrong. To criticize somebody is wrong. To consider Krishna ordinary person is offense. But who is doing that? Krishna has to look after. If he is not under my jurisdiction, I should not correct him. This is not my job. Even after writing all this in the end, Prabhupada, whoever his god brothers came, he said, well, somehow, because of administrative and other things, I have criticized you, please forgive me. And the last Prabhupada was so humble and was asking everybody for forgiveness. So the point is, as an administration, as an authority, we have to do some decisions which are not on individual, but on a principle. But at individual level, we should not be offensive.
so. What about last 2 months ago? There was some clashes. I mean, verbal war between critics. When the Bangalore temples won the case, so there was very social media. On social media, there was so much. Altercations.
I have seen most of the things were quite immature, Only immature devotees were just opening their mouth and making things worst. It should have been ignored. That is the best thing. If you ignore them, nobody know them. You made them popular by your mistake. This is it's court cases. Somebody will lose, somebody will win. There's no problem. Why should make something? Most of the people are neophyte as far as I have seen. And I never noticed. They ignore this. Ignore this. They will die on their own. It's not good. It was not good. Not at all. We were giving them life rather than, by criticizing you give life to the other people. It means they are important. You gave them importance by mistake. Not advisable. Anyway, if you point one finger to the other person, 4 are towards you. Always. So be careful. Don't point somebody else, because you are also not living. The one who is living in a glass room should not throw a stone on others. The main point Prabhupada was making is jealousy and enviousness. That is the root cause of all problems. Jealousy and enviousness. Finding people are not happy in this world because they don't have. They are envious why others have more. This is a problem. The problem is not that we have some problem. Why other person are advanced? That's our problem. We want to bring them at our level. That's what Prabhupada is saying. To be envious or to be jealous means to bring the other person to our level. So this is not to see the devotee externally, see the devotee by recognize him by his own activity at the level of soul. Now, because we have some defects, we have shortcomings, how can we overcome these? How can we develop taste for holy name? We don't have a taste. How can we develop taste? This is the verse. Siyat Krishna Nama Charita Disita Piya Vidya. Pita upatapatta rasanasya na rochikano. Kinto adarada anudenam khalu saiva jushta. Swadvai kramada bhavati tadagadahan mula antari. Siyada Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pi Avidya. Pita uttapataparasanasya narochikano. Kintavadarada anudenam khalo saiva jushta. Swadavikmada bhavati tadagadamola antari. The holy name, Nam, Krishna Nam. Charita Adi, Charita means his pastime, Adi means his abode, his paraphernalia. Sitapi, they are very sweet. They are very soothing and cool. The holy name, character, pastime and activities of Krishna are very transcendently sweet like sugar candy. This is the first line. Syat, they are. Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapi. Up till here. Not avidya. Now avidya comes. Although the tongue of one afflicted by jaundice, Pita Uttapta. Pita Uttapta means jaundice. Rasnasya means tongue. Rasna means tongue. And avidya. Avidya is compared to jaundice. Ignorance means jaundice, disease. So, although the tongue of one afflicted by jaundice of avidya, ignorance, avidya, api avidya pitotpata rasnasya, cannot taste anything sweet, na rochika no. Now what can we do? It is wonderful simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day. Kinta adrat means with respect, carefully. Khalu saiva jushta anudinam every day. The natural relish awakens within the tongue. Taste will develop. Swadvi kramad. Kramad means step by step. And thus disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Tad gadda mula hantri. Which disease will disappear? Ignorance. Ignorance will disappear by chanting holy name. Like the person suffering from jaundice, for him sugar candy appears bitter because tongue is a disease. But the treatment for the jaundice is to have sugar, juice. So it was not tasty, but he take every day as a treatment, then very soon he will be cured from the disease and he will relish the sweet taste of this sugar juice, sugar cane juice. Similarly, right now, because of our ignorance, we are not able to taste the chanting of Hare Krishna or hearing Gita, Bhagavatam. But if we regularly do this with all respect and carefully, then one day our disease will be completely cured and we will develop taste. That is the meaning of this verse. So, according to the yardstick of this Ado Sardha Adsa, this is Ruchi. This is stage of Ruchi and Asakti. Ruchi and Asakti. So, here the purport has 10 paragraphs. That we'll do next week. Till that time you just finish all bank questions from first 6 verses. And if there are any questions, comments or some other difficulties, I think we have some time. I think we are quite ahead of timetable. We have 6 classes more. 6 classes and 4 verses, 5 verses. The last classes are too short. So up till 6 verse, everybody should answer all the questions of question bank questions, all finished till 6 verse, okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.